Hi guys. In the last video, I talked about my new figures from Khorasan Miniatures. I got Imperial Tibetans. I just thought I would share a little bit about them and some of the sources about the history of the Tibetan Empire, which is not super well known, but there's a book about it, the Tibetan Empire in Central Asia by a historian named Christopher Beckwith. Good book. I've read it a couple times. Um, so the Tibetan Empire existed from about the um, 500s to about the 11th century, roughly. This is a good map, I think, but gives you an idea of kind of the neighborhood they were in. So it's the covers like the modern kind of, I guess, Tibetan region of China, present day China, but covers much more, and they were bordering the Abbasid Caliphate, the Uyghurs, so the early one of the early Turkic Khanates, and Tang, China. Um, so kind of in the on the sort of Silk Road region. We know about the Tibetan Empire was kind of the history was kind of lost for a while, even to the Tibetans, because a lot of the sources were in this um, monastery called Dunhuang, in this place Dunhuang or Shajiao, um, and it was discovered by a couple explorers in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Like so much of this stuff. One of those explorers was his name was Oral Stein. He was Hungarian, but a British British citizen. He went there, and then but the uh, manuscript I'm going to show you guys in a minute was discovered and read by a French Orientalist named Paul Pelliot, who visited there shortly after Stein. There's a good book about this and some interesting Japanese expeditions to Central Asia. It's called Foreign Devils on the Silk Road. Um, it's a pretty good book, pretty entertaining. It's by Peter Hopkirk. Um, yeah, really about kind of the golden age, if we could call it that, of this kind of Central Asian exploration. Very pioneering work by these kind of explorers and scholars. But one of the texts that was recovered by Pelliot was this um, Tibetan Annal, the old Tibetan Annals, which is in a scroll, and it is not complete, as you can see. So actually, the parts about the kind of founding emperor of the empire are lost, unfortunately. But we do have a lot of it. I'm going to go through one of the battles with the Tang Chinese, mostly because it's interesting, and this is a common, um, a format in medieval culture, pretty much all over the world, where you just have kind of the year and a summary. Uh, Probably a lot of reasons why, it's paper's kind of expensive, um, any number of things, but this is why, a lot of certain things in military history, I think, it's hard to kind of access them because these are the sources. But I'll go through, read through some of this and explain it. So in the red, which is hard to see, but this is uh, Lugi Lola Bopste, which means like this means like basically happening in the year of the sheep. So it's a animal calendar, kind of like used in East Asian cultures today. Still used in Tibetan culture with a little some modification. Tsanpo, Sprags, Gi, um, Jra, or Jar, Jarna. So the emperor Bijuk. So the emperor was staying in Na means in this place, jar, jar of Spragues. We don't really know where that is, I don't think. A lot of the places in the annals aren't really known. Um, and the emperor moved around. This is pretty common in a lot of Central Asian cultures. That the court kind of moves with the ruler. It's not they don't have one fixed capital necessarily. Uh, and then we have the and then this just is a Jing, which means and or Zhang, I think. Uh, the Blonche Stongritsan. So this is a proper name. The guy's name is Stongritsan. He's the prime minister, basically, the great minister, the Blonche, which is one of the figures that I showed in the last video. So it's the emperor, the the Tampo, and the Blonche, the prime minister, and uh, he is staying in. He was in a place called Jul. We don't know where that is exactly. Uh, Michigs, or sorry, Michiste. I think that's how it's pronounced. Um, and then the part that is a little more interesting. So it goes on. There's Dargyal, Mangpo. So the Lord Mangpo is a lord. I think this is a proper name, Mangpo uh, Regis, and Michix. So he's in this place, and in this a bunch of these are place names, and then this is like La is like in this district of it's like a district of 1,000 something. It's not really no sure, but some kind of fief. So he's in this place. Um, but the part that's where the tongue come in is we have this word reg. It's regi, and then there's a Chinese name, Sedong Bong. So the Chinese Sedong Bong, and then now we have the description of the battle, if you could call it that. Uh, Mol Multabs, yeah, Multabs, um, Bigis Day. So they did battle, and then we do have some numbers, uh, and it's I have to look at my notes here. This is not easy, but they did battle, and the last part is talking about how many men died, and it's yeah, Bir Bargid, uh, Bargid, Grostong Grostong La, uh, Grostong La, yeah. It's like 80 to uh, 1,000, um, or 80,000 to 1,000. They only 1,000 men were left, and they were vanquished basically or annihilated. And then this last part, it's just kind of a formula. Por lo gitchig means like and thus 1 year. This is the events that happened of the year basically. So this is the kind of sources we have about the Tibetans. This is all you get about the military, or the battle at least of that they met in this place. and they fought. So yeah, that's I hope you found this interesting. I know it's kind of maybe weird to listen to me try to work through this, but I hope you found it interesting at least. I think Tibetan Empire is an interesting period. I think if I do end up building armies, uh, I'll probably do Tibetans, more Tibetans, and then Tang Chinese. Um, could also give me an excuse to do Arabs, but I don't. I have to check if they actually fought the Arabs. I think they did at one point. I think they did a battle with the Arabs. Um, but yeah, if you find this stuff interesting, you can look up the book, The Tibetan Empire in Central Asia. And then there are a couple books about about the Dunhuang discoveries. There's the one I mentioned, The Foreign Devils on the Silk Road by Peter Hopkirk, and then there's another one, might be hard to find. I don't know if it's probably not in print, but there's a biography of the explorer Oral Stein. It's pretty entertaining. Both of them are kind of, like nice popular histories or good reads. So, all right. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this informative at least, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.